All right, friends, Pastor Zach here, and I'm back with a third part of our Golden Rule series. And this is a snippet of a sermon series, a 10-part sermon series that I'm doing for the youth over at camp meeting this summer. So you're getting the piloted episodes of this. You're getting the fresh, raw, I'm still working through this idea. And so the past devotionals, I've been talking about John 13:34, which says, "A new commandment I give to you." Jesus says, that you love one another just as I loved you, you also are to love one another. And so in the last two episodes or devotionals, I've unpacked pretty simply what I think Jesus is saying here. But now I'm going to kind of flesh it out descriptively to illustrate what Jesus is trying to say here. And so, commenting on that phrase, a new commandment I give to you, I think is pretty important to isolate. And that is because I don't think Jesus is giving a new 11th commandment here, but I think he is re explaining the commandments in a new way. And what is that new way? It's not just through his words, but the new way is also through his life, it's how he's living it. You know, you read the book of Romans, and Paul is pretty harsh on the Jewish leadership because they believe that simply having the Ten Commandments, having the law makes them special. Paul says there's nothing new about that. What gives it power is the law fulfilled in the flesh, in our life, and us walking it out and actually living it, not just having it. And so that's really the difference when Jesus says, "A new commandment I give to you." He can call it a new commandment because up until that point, no one's really been doing it. But Jesus is the law fulfilled in the flesh, right? Walking and talking it out amongst his people. So that gives us a key insight, I believe, into what these commandments were supposed to be about. They weren't supposed to be laws that we necessarily just keep, but they are promises that I believe Jesus, God, wants to instill within me and you. So we're not just saying them, we're not just reciting them, we don't just know them, but we actually get to experience them in our lives in some pretty profound ways. And so I think that's what Jesus means by a new commandment I give to you. This is a new way of experiencing this. We don't just read it, we don't just hope for it, but now we get to actually live it. And one of the primary ways we do that is through how we treat each other. It's through how we treat each other. By the way we love each other, we begin to fulfill the law that God had given to us. That's beautiful, isn't it, church family? Because that doesn't mean that it's just about personal piety or us locking ourselves away in a dungeon somewhere to simply be holy and keep all 10 of these things. No. The way to live the commandments is a practice, and we experience that practice through how we treat each other. It's not done through isolation. One of my favorite preachers, Ivan Meyer, says, "You know who can keep the Ten Commandments perfectly? Absolutely perfectly? A dead person. A dead person won't break them. They'll definitely keep them, but they're certainly not living them." The commandments were meant to transform our life and give us a whole new way of living, a whole new way of experiencing things. And part of the way by which we do that is how we treat each other. So I want to encourage us out with this week. Let us not get discouraged if we feel like we're failing God, if we're struggling in our relationship with Him, if we don't feel like we're pious enough to be able to come with Him. Jesus says the basis for the fulfillment of this is in how we love each other, and not just in how we love each other, but how we love each other based upon how God has loved us. So let us reflect on how good God has been to us, on how much God has loved us, and then let the outpouring of that be in how we love each other. Be blessed, friends.